Queens is playing a 10-man roster.
Oh shit!
So yeah, that's the first order of business. They need to get. They need to
fill
get
those spots.
Yeah, they need the two. Yeah, they need to fill the 2 remaining deep reserve spots,
or at least
right
one
now,
or at least one of them. Yeah, because playing a 10-man team, I mean, holy crap!
That's borderline almost disqualification material.
Getting close. You're allowed to play with at least. You need 8 to play.
Yeah.
Wow. And then why couldn't? Well, I guess because they have 2 open spaces, they can't just have like an injured reserve player either. They've got those 2 open spaces.
Oh, you can.
They should be.
There's no need to do injured reserve.
What they should be doing is even if they go out and they sign a player for a month until these injuries are gone, they'd be doing themselves a service, because I mean they've got 10 mil in cap. It's not a lot, but I mean they can get a player for a month for $500,000 to cover while these guys aren't injured.
And looking at their stats, they definitely need another guard.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because if you look at the positions, you have
right.
forward, swing. One, they have only 2 players on their entire roster marked as guard.
Yeah, well, that's what I said when I pointed it out. And then even forwards, they've only got 1 or 2 pure forwards. No, sorry, 3. I didn't see Daisuke.
Grand, yeah,
So forwards not
Tasa
so
is
bad.
a back, could be also played as a guard, and same with Mahmoud. So you do have people that can play that.
Well, and Newton as well.
Yeah, but they need that guard back up, and they need him now.
Newton is
They need a
best
pure
at,
guard.
generally been best at like the small forward position. That's where he does the best usually.
But they have Micah there right now, so they can't really put him there. You know what
I suppose.
But yeah, they're definitely a team that's lacking right now.
They need to use the fact they have that extra space to pick someone.
And extra cap to help themselves. Like I said, even if they went out and bought a player for a month for $500,000, they'd be better off than them sitting with what they're at now.
Yeah.
Because right now, 3 of their stars are down.
And they're just going to keep hemorrhaging until they get back up. Do we know why they all got injured? Was it like too high intensity? Were they?
I think it was a high intensity game. Injuries. I think they all got injured on the same game, so I'm assuming it was probably a high intensity game, but it might have been a day-to-day issue as well.
Tevla got injured on the game after, but Newton.
Yeah, Tevla got injured the day after, but Mahmoud and Zipnut got injured on the same day. And they both got pretty long-term injuries, so.
Oh, let's see. We're looking at Queens, right? They won the game, though. And Tevla still got player of the game.
Well, Tevla wasn't injured until the game after.
Damn it, Tevla! Why?
Mahmoud and Newton. Yeah, they both got injured on the 11th, but I can't tell like why the injury happened. I'm assuming they were amped up because they were playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Tevla is out for 7 days with a strained knee, and
so yeah, I'm assuming it was just an amped up thing.
Thigh contusion, also 15-day for Mahmoud.
Mahmoud.
Mahmoud, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, on the 11th, their intensity. Wow.
What?
Holy crap! No wonder they got injuries.
What was their intensity?
2 offensive, 2 defensive, quarter 4 aggressive stance.
Wow.
So on the 4th quarter, they had a +6 total intensity.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus! Bitch farts with a side of fucking cheese fries.
So they were asking for injuries, running a 4 for 3 quarters and a 6 for the 4th quarter. So no surprise they got injuries.
Oh my
jeez.
What the fuck is that shit?
And Adam Tevella was questionable at that point, which means he was probably on a day-to-day. I bet you anything.
Jesus.
Did he?
He was probably on a day-to-day till the trainers saw him and were like, you need to sit out for a while, buddy.
Wow.
He was not benched. He was benched.
He did not get a day-to-day on that game, on that 11-11 game. He did not have a day-to-day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. But no, yeah, I think this is sort of one of those things even more where they need to fill. I don't know. I think they do need to fill both their deep reserve spots and as soon as possible. One of them with a guard, the other who knows what position, but they need to fill their roster out now.
And or at the very least stop running very high intense games because you do not have the bench to sort of recover that.
Yeah, they don't have the manpower. Oh, Wolf 9 is their coach. I know Wolf 9's still fairly new to everything, but
yeah.
So that might be an issue. So somebody might want to approach Wolf 9.
Looks like currently they're running at a +2.
Well, and Nightfire, I guess, as well, because Nightfire's the.
Currently they're running at a +1/+1. So
they're running Boy Scout mode right now.
Yeah.
So they're not running as aggressive, but they sort of can't run as aggressive because they're getting close to having to.
They can't afford to.
Otherwise, they're fucked.
Well, as it is, they have to have, like, they've got injured players and they've got. I don't know what this questionable thing means, but.
Questionable means day-to-day.
Okay.
If you're on a day-to-day, you're marked as questionable.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty clear what Queens needs. Yeah.
They got to fill those gaps and they got to do it as soon as possible.
And they got to play
it might not necessarily. It might not make the team.
Intensities.
That was dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it's clear what Queens has to do. Shall we move on to freaking San Jose?
And thrust we
to your team here.
Yes, and I'm still very salty about Adam Temela not going to me, by the way. I'm just going to put that out.
How do you think I feel? I wanted him too.
Surprise, he went to his team, the team he was already at, so I'm not surprised.
Big deal! That puts me in a disadvantage, so I'm going to
shut up.
Thank you,
still
boss.
have Barnaby, shut up.
I am not at all surprised he went. It's like, if it's one thing, you're leaving your home team to go somewhere else, and then, you can maybe argue, but no, he went from his home team, he went back to his home team, so... Like, sort of like, oh, Jake went back to Seattle. It's like, oh, I was fighting for Jake. How dare Jake go back to the team that drafted him?
Yeah, but, like, it's still Southern California, you know? I thought I had a chance.
Yeah, you've got Barnaby. He's the better surfer dude anyway. He's not a womanizer.
Yeah. See, the only reason I'm still mad about that is because I thought I had a damn chance. I'm just saying.
But whatever.
Oh, I did too.
Anyway, so San Jose.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't been doing too terribly, but
honestly, the most stylish team in the league if you look at all their players.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The sharpest dressers are, of course, Alessandro, Blythe, Jonathan, Rachel, DeWitt, Terrell, maybe Tua, even though he's a bug. I mean, come on. Dude's got style. Barnaby Jazz, obviously the top style character there.
Duh.
Let's see. Bally Molly.
Yeah.
Bally Mahi. Everything clashes with Bally. Too many colors.
He's a pretty birdie.
Too many colors.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the team great. Anyway, so yeah.
They started out okay.
Yeah, you started out with 2 wins, then you lost 3 games, then you won a game, then lost 2, then won.
Yeah, well, now they don't have Barnaby there, so now they've got DeWitt playing starting center.
Well, I don't know. I've been meaning. I don't know, because Harlow's usually pretty good about knowing which pieces to put where, and I'm surprised he didn't put Mendoza as starting center right now, because, like, but that's something I needed to, but that's something I think he'll get on with about that, because he's usually very good about managing my players like that, so.
Wow, Barnaby's defensive rating is higher than I thought it would be.
Well, again, he hasn't been able to play a bunch of
Well, like I said,
now.
West Coast is generally playing a lot more of their players offensively. So, or for the coaches, I think a lot of the West Coast teams are doing a lot more points into the offensive intensity, whereas a lot of the defense, like a lot of West Coast are either doing like 1-1 or 2-0, whereas a lot of the East Coast are doing a lot more of like 0-1 or 0-2.
Yeah. So,
well, but then again, Barnaby's mostly all about rebounds and scoring. So
yeah. So I'm gonna try to refrain from commenting too much here because this is my team we're talking.
Comment all you want.
The only thing I wonder, why hasn't Bali played?
You know, I'll have to ask Harlow that because.
I mean, the preseason, his offensive rating isn't bad. It's pretty good, especially considering some of the other people, the other guards you have on this team. But
I don't know. I think the thing is that he wasn't impressed by Bali Mahi because one of the things he talks to me about a lot is that he sort of goes in and he hasn't ever really been impressed with Bali, and he's sort of just like, I don't know. I think that may be one reason why. I'll poke him about that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
a lot of motion around, so he's playing with his bench a lot. But I definitely say give Bali a chance because it's like his numbers from the preseason aren't bad. 119
his offensive rating is the same as Barnaby's, and Barnaby's played more minutes.
Well, this is Bali's is what he did in the preseason.
Okay.
Because that's
Barnaby was sitting in the preseason, I think. Because San Jose sat the starters out for the preseason, I think.
Yeah.
But if you compare Bali's numbers versus like Elijah or Jonah, or I guess not Elijah because Elijah hasn't played, but Jonah and even like Jonathan.
He's way better than Jonah.
Yeah, way better than Jonah, and yet Jonah is getting better than 1 to 3 spots, and Bali hasn't seen the light of day yet.
Yeah, Hare, talk to your coach about that, dude.
Yeah.
That is an issue.
It's one thing, it's like, okay, you have a bad player, okay, did poorly in the preseason, okay, yeah, don't let him see the light of the game. Sort of like Las Vegas had with Glexamar. It's like, this guy went 1 for 15. Okay, he's just going to sit on the bench now? Or no, that was Montana that did that. But it's like, this one's like, okay, yeah, he did okay. Not fantastic, but he did okay. It's like, yeah, I don't want to use him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, talk to Harlow about that because yeah. There's nothing wrong with Bali Mahi, and he's been a good player in the past. So
yeah, that's one of the reasons why I tried to bring him on because I was just like, he
might not usually been that kind of player where it's like, oh hey, he's the starter, but he's always been generally okay. He's been decent.
Well, and Jonathan Lawyer as a small forward, I mean, you've got to have a better small forward than that even. Like, couldn't Barsky play in there better? Yeah, Barsky could play in there better.
Well, I mean, the thing is that John, I believe, or towards the forward segment of Swing For. I think this is a lineup experiment mostly because
that's possible.
Yeah, because I know that he's sort of been
6'6" could be either. Jonathan Lawyer is only 6'6", so he could be easily played a shooting guard and not be.
Yeah, I think he generally tends to prefer playing John as shooting guard. I think this is more a time where he's trying to experiment with lineup a little bit. So yeah, especially as it relates to the shooting guards.
Especially since Barnaby's
out.
Yeah, since Barnaby's out.
He'll be back soon.
Yeah.
It's only 15 games. Only
15 days.
15 days, so only half that, really.
Looking at the
okay, they're definitely playing a little bit loose. Can't tell what the customs are, but San Jose is running a 0-3.
I can't even see it yet. It hasn't loaded up for me. There it is.
2 custom quarters, but 0-3. So they're really trying to get that defensive game.
So I guess when it comes to boost time, they should be putting boosts into defensive ratings on their players. Especially, defensive players like the centers and the power forwards. And
bigger question is, if they're running 0-3, How come the defensive rating of this team is still not fantastic?